Welcome to the annual Suicide Awareness Training. In this training, we'll review a topic that can be emotionally painful for some. A lot of work was done to present this content with care and sensitivity, but you might find the information personally upsetting. If you or someone you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts or feelings, please reach out to someone you trust who is likely to listen with compassion and acceptance. The BCPS EAP is also available. You can also call or text 988 for support or call 410-931-2214, Baltimore County Crisis Response. These resources are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In this training, participants will be able to identify warning signs of a mental health crisis and/or potentially suicidal youth, recognize protective and preventative strategies they can utilize, and be made aware of BCPS and community resources available to provide support to students and families. The National Alliance on Mental Illness reports that 1 in 6 U.S. youth aged 6 to 17 experience a mental health disorder each year. 50% of all lifetime mental illness begins by age 14, and suicide is the second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 14. The Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System measures health-related behaviors and experiences that can lead to death and disability among youth and adults. Results help monitor health trends, identify emerging issues, and plan and evaluate programs that can help improve adolescent health. YRBS data are used by health departments, educators, lawmakers, doctors, and community organizations to inform school and community programs, communication campaigns, and other efforts. This is a nationwide survey and does include Maryland. It's completed every 2 years and compiles a representative sample across all districts. Data is obtained from middle and high school students. The most recent youth behavior risk data for Baltimore County, Maryland high school students showed 41% felt sad or hopeless for 2 or more weeks consecutively so that they stopped doing some of their usual activities. 20.6% seriously considered attempting suicide. 17.1% made a plan to end their life. 10.8% actually attempted suicide 1 or more times. The most recent data for middle school students in Baltimore County showed 24.1% reported that they seriously thought about killing themselves. 17.7% made a plan about how they would kill themselves, and 10.3% reported that they've ever tried to kill themselves. Given the presented data, the extent of need is concluded to be significant as BCPS continues to advance the awareness of symptoms of depression and mental health concerns in an effort to grow a culture that embraces mental health literacy through promotion and prevention, as well as help seeking to disrupt students engaged in harmful behaviors. While there is no single cause for suicide, there are risk factors and warning signs which may increase likelihood of an attempt. Learning them can save lives. Risk factors are characteristics or conditions that increase the chance that a person may try to take their life. Suicide most often occurs when stressors and health issues converge to create an experience of hopelessness and despair. Depression is the most common condition associated with suicide, and it is often undiagnosed or untreated. Conditions like depression, anxiety, and substance problems, especially when unaddressed, increase the risk for suicide. It is important to note that most people who actively manage their mental health conditions go on to engage in life. Some of the health conditions noted as risk factors include mental health conditions like depression, substance use problems, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, personality traits of aggression, mood changes, and poor relationships, conduct disorder, and anxiety disorders. Serious physical health conditions, including pain as well as traumatic brain injury, are also noted. Environmental risk factors can include access to lethal means, including firearms and drugs, prolonged stress such as harassment, bullying, relationship problems, or unemployment, stressful life events like rejection, divorce, financial crisis, other life transitions or loss, and exposure to another person's suicide or to graphic or sensationalized accounts of suicide. Historical risk factors include previous suicide attempts, a family history of suicide, childhood abuse, neglect, or trauma. An additional risk factor to note is called contagion. Suicide clusters, especially mass clusters, might occur through a process of contagion. Suicide contagion occurs when the exposure to suicide or suicidal behavior of one or more people influences others to attempt suicide. Gambling is a new emerging risk factor that increases one's risk for suicide. Research out of the University of Glasgow in 2023 has shown that gambling is linked to a heightened risk of suicide attempts among young adults ages 16 to 24 who experience an increase in severity of gambling problems and were 2.74 times more likely to attempt suicide than those whose gambling was unchanged. The first of Maryland's 6 casinos opened in 2008, with slot machines, table games for casinos were approved in 2012, and sports betting has been available online and on mobile apps since 2022. Additionally, national and regional studies have found that Black youth and adults are highly vulnerable to problem gambling. Factors such as neighborhood disadvantage, access to lottery outlets, as well as readily available gambling activities such as dice and craps are highly common and problematic among Black participants. The suicide death rate among Black youth has been rising faster than any other ethnic group. Other factors including racism, economic adversities, lack of insurance coverage, and culturally acceptable behavioral health care may also contribute to these soaring rates. On this slide, you will see warning signs broken down into 3 categories: talk, behaviors, and mood. Warning signs may come from all or one of these categories. In some instances, someone may talk about feeling hopeless or trapped, may withdraw from activities, may sleep too much, or become increasingly irritable. And some of these warning signs can also be common in young adults. No matter what, it is important to notice these warning signs and take action. As a faculty member or teacher, you have the opportunity to be with students every day. If you notice changes in talk, behavior, or mood, you can engage in a conversation with the student. It is best if you have a positive rapport with the student and are one-on-one. In an event that they want to talk more about what they are experiencing or might want to share something personal, you can say something like, "I've noticed," and then insert the behavior change there. "I'm worried about you. You don't seem like yourself. Are you okay?" If you are not comfortable having the conversation or are unable to meet with the student one-on-one, you can consult with your school-based staff members like the school counselor, school social worker, or school psychologist. You must respond immediately if a student comments, gestures, or communicates in some way that they are experiencing thoughts of wanting to harm themselves or others. This could include writing about it on social media. If this occurs, please contact your principal immediately and do not leave the student alone. Protective factors are influences that make it less likely that individuals will develop a mental health problem. They include biological, psychological, or social factors in the individual, the family, or the community. Protective factors help to lower the risk level of suicide and other self-destructive behaviors. These are strengths that we can develop and enhance in our students. Some of these include feeling connected to family and community support, like feeling connected to their school, access to mental health care, being proactive about mental health care, problem solving and coping skills, limited access to lethal means, and cultural and religious beliefs that encourage connecting and help seeking, discouraging suicidal behavior, or create a strong sense of purpose or self-esteem. There are resources available both internally and externally. Please connect with your school-based staff members like your school social workers, school counselors, school psychologists for more information and consult with them as needed regarding your concerns related to students. Student support services staff at the central office level are also points of contact that you can connect with if needed. In the community, 988 and Baltimore County Crisis Response are available 24/7 should you have any questions related to behavioral health crises. Baltimore County's Bureau of Behavioral Health with a health department is available for consult Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. Please note some of the key takeaways from this training. There is no single cause to suicide. There are risk factors and warning signs which may increase the likelihood of an attempt. 50% of all lifetime mental illness begins by age 14. Noticing the risk factors and warning signs and intervening can save lives. Protective factors include biological, psychological, and social factors in the individual, family, or community that can make it less likely an individual will develop a mental health problem. And contact your administrator immediately if a student directly or indirectly expresses intent to harm themselves or someone else. And do not leave them alone. Please keep in mind that you have resources available to you should you have concerns about a student. Feel free to reach out to your administrator or member of your student support team. You can also access support by reaching out to the Office of Student Support Services at 443-809-0238. If you need support for your individual experience, please contact our Employee Assistance Program at 443-809-5414. Now you will participate in a short knowledge check.